You ever pour your heart and soul into building an online community only to watch it become a digital ghost town? You post, you try to get conversations going, and all you hear back is crickets. It's so frustrating, right? And it happens to almost everyone. Today, we're going to dig into why that happens and look at a pretty big shift that's starting to bring these communities back to life.
So let's just get right to it. The big question that keeps so many of us up at night. Why do a whopping 90% of online communities just fizzle out? A lot of them don't even make it past 90 days. If you've been there, you know exactly how much that stings. But here's the thing, and I really want you to hear this. It's not your fault. The problem isn't your passion or your content. The problem is that most of the platforms we use are built on a fundamentally broken idea. They're kind of setting you up to fail right from the start. So what is this broken idea? Well, it's that these platforms are making us fight against thousands of years of our own psychology. They're asking us to build real, deep connections in a way that is completely unnatural to how we're wired as people. So first, let's get a handle on just how big this problem actually is. We're calling this section the community ghost town because, let's be honest, that's what most of these places feel like, just empty and quiet. Wow. This chart really paints a brutal picture of what's called the 90-day cliff. An incredible 9 out of every 10 communities are gone within the first 3 months. That's a massive failure rate. It's not just about effort, it points to a much bigger systemic problem.
And if you dig into the numbers, it gets even more depressing. In a typical community, 90% of the members never even write a single post. Not one. Almost half of them are gone within 6 months. And if you're selling a course in there, you're lucky if 15% of people actually finish it. It's like trying to fill a bucket that's full of holes. It's just exhausting.
So why? Why are the numbers so bad across the board? Well, this brings us right to the heart of it all. We're fighting against our own human nature. Okay, here's the statistic that basically explains everything. Research has shown that up to 93% of all our communication is nonverbal. It's your tone of voice, your body language, the look on your face. Only a tiny 7% is the actual words we use. Think about that for a second. Most platforms are forcing us to build relationships using only 7% of our toolkit. Community expert Jono Bacon made this pyramid of trust, and it just perfectly illustrates the issue. At the very top, you've got one-on-one in-person hangs. That's maximum trust. As you go down the pyramid, you can reach more people, but the trust and the connection just plummets. And where do almost all community platforms live? Right down at the bottom, in the wasteland of text-based forums where connection goes to die. I love this quote because it just says it all. We're asking our members to build these deep, meaningful relationships by just typing at each other. It's like asking them to fall in love using Morse code. Is it any wonder they don't connect and just disappear? Okay, so if the problem is a massive lack of genuine human connection, then what's the solution? Well, this brings us to a completely different way of thinking about it, the video-first community. This whole problem has given rise to a new type of platform. A great example is a company called Swarm. It was designed from the very beginning to make video the default way people talk to each other. Their entire reason for existing is to bring back that missing 93% of our communication.
The founder of Swarm, a guy named Gavin, he put it so perfectly. He was looking for a platform for himself, and all he could find were what he called soulless text forums. And he had this big realization. Text doesn't create connection, faces do. The second people can actually see each other, something just clicks. They stop being consumers, and they start being contributors.
Okay, but that all sounds great in theory. Does it actually work in the real world? Does putting video first really get better results? Let's look at the actual data and some of the clever design that makes it happen. The numbers are frankly kind of ridiculous. Your typical text-based platforms, they're happy if they can get 10 to 20% of their members to be active each month. But communities built on this video-first idea, they're averaging 40 to 50% monthly active users. This isn't just a little bit better. We're talking about doubling, even tripling your engagement. It's a game changer. So how are they pulling this off? Well, a huge part of it is just making it way, way less intimidating to create a video. And there's one feature in particular that somebody called borderline genius. It's a built-in teleprompter. So on some of these new platforms, when a member wants to record a video, they can literally just paste their notes right onto the screen. As they record, the text just scrolls by like they're a news anchor, so you never have that awkward, what was I gonna say? Moment.
This simple little tool just melts away one of the biggest hurdles for people who are a little shy on camera. It makes creating a video feel easy and accessible for anybody, not just the pros. And that's how you turn those quiet lurkers into active members.
But it's not just about engagement. This new approach is also shaking up the money side of things. You know how a lot of platforms charge you a monthly fee and they take a cut of everything you sell? Well, some of these new video-first platforms take zero transaction fees. You just hook up your Stripe account and you keep 100% of what you earn.
And what about looking professional? If you want your own branded app on one of the older platforms, you could be looking at $10,000 or more. This new approach makes it way more accessible. Some of them just include it in plans that start around $150 a month. It makes a professional brand something that a lot more creators can actually achieve.
So let's zoom out for a minute and see where this whole video-first philosophy fits into the bigger picture. How does it really stack up against the platforms we all already know? This table gives you a pretty great snapshot. You've got a platform like Circle, which is basically a really nice forum. It's great for those long, thoughtful, written discussions. Then you have School, which is all about gamification and leaderboards. But the video-first model, like Swarm here, is laser-focused on just one thing: building genuine human trust. It's not trying to be everything to everybody. Now, this is where it gets really strategic. We're heading into a future where AI can write endless amounts of text that sounds perfectly human. But what's the one thing AI can't fake? A real, authentic human face on video. It can't replicate that feeling you get when you see someone's eyes light up. That makes a video-first community incredibly valuable and almost impossible to copy. And that brings us to the final and I think most important question for you to think about. In a world that is just drowning in AI-generated information, what is the real value you're giving your members? Is it just more content they could get anywhere? Or is it a genuine human connection they absolutely can't find anywhere else? The answer to that question is going to define the entire future of your community.